It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I told you guys this was going to happen. I told you a while ago. I told you before Benavidez and Andrade even fought that, Canelo was in negotiations to fight Jaime Munguia, and that the plan was going to be more than likely that Jaime Munguia would fight John Ryder because he's a Canelo opponent, and should he look good in that fight, he would be Canelo Alvarez's Cinco de Mayo opponent. Now, fast forward some weeks, fast forward some days later, and y'all can save the date. Y'all can save the date. Jaime Munguia will be taking on John Ryder January 27th out there in Arizona. First and foremost, I knew this was going to happen. Secondly, I like the fight. Respect to Munguia. He's at 168 now, trying to make a big name for himself and really make up for some time where, I've been very critical of Munguia. I really do think, like, as critical as I've been on Canelo Alvarez over the years, I really should be more critical of Jaime Munguia, but, he's just not relevant enough to be more critical of. So, with that being said, I like this fight. This isn't a fight for me to be critical of. This is a good fight. John Ryder, to me, is even now, I still think he's one of the more underrated 68-pounders, even after the Canelo fight, even after he gave Canelo Alvarez, a really good fight in Mexico and did his thing and really gave a great account of himself in a losing effort. Jaime Munguia, let's talk about him. He's coming off of a really, really sensational fight against Sergey Derevyanchenko where, he was tested and he was taken to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places. And had he not got that knockdown, maybe we're not talking about Munguia, winning that fight. So he had a really good test there. I think Munguia over the years has grown. Zanfer Promotions in association with the Golden Boy, they've been very patient with his matchmaking. Like he had the Jimmy Kelly fight, and we know he won the title against Adam Ali. We know he's gotten some gifts in the past with the Dennis Hogan, but nonetheless, he's developed into a more well-rounded fighter over the years. He's physically matured. He's also been a guy that has shown himself to be one of the most aggressive body punchers in the sport. So I like this fight a lot because with John Ryder, we know what John Ryder MO is going to be. He's not going to go there to box. John Ryder doesn't go there to fight. John Ryder doesn't go there to be in his chest. John Ryder doesn't go in there to try to push him back. And I hate being cynical, man. Like sometimes I kind of wish I could be a little more naive to the sport, but like they're fighting Arizona. We know the MO when it comes to fighting Mexican fighters in like Arizona and Texas. We know the long history of the judges there when it comes to fighting Mexican fighters in those particular states. It's very hard to get a decision. So John Ryder is going to have a dominant performance. He's going to have to stop Munguia, outwork him and drop him once or twice. He's going to have to really go in there and give you every last bit of himself to beat him. Because even if he, quote unquote, beats him by a point or two, he's not going to get a decision. Then there's no sense in me even asking for fairness because I just know I'm not going to get it, right? We know what this is. We know that Golden Boy is strategically putting him in there with John Ryder off the back of the Canelo fight because if he goes in there, and especially if he goes and gets a knockout against John Ryder, which, by the way, John Ryder hasn't been knocked out since, I'm going to say, Nick Blackwell, like 10 years ago. It's been about a decade since he's been stopped. And when he got stopped, that was when he was at 160. He didn't get stopped at 168. Nobody stopped John Ryder at 168. So in my eyes, even me, who's been very critical of Munguia over the years, if Munguia is to stop John Ryder at 168, that is a statement because it's never happened at 168. Every fighter that's fought John Ryder at 68 has either A, gotten a good decision, lost, or had one of the hardest fights of their career. There's been no easy John Ryder fights. Canelo will tell you that. Daniel Jacobs will tell you that. Callum Smith will tell you that. Bilal Akwe will tell you that. All these guys will tell you that. So, like the fight a lot. I think it's going to be a great night of boxing. I look forward to seeing Munguia and how he's mature going into the fight. And listen, again, I know the talk is going to be of Benavidez, Canelo, and I'm not listening. And I want to address this real quickly because you guys, some of the boxing fans, I won't even say boxing fans, because a lot of you guys aren't boxing fans. You guys are fans of a fighter. And being a fan of a fighter is not the same as being a boxing fan. A fan of boxing wants to see the best fights. Fan of a fighter just is gonna dick ride said fighter, you know, the fighter they like, right? I want to address this about Benavidez Canelo because I don't hate David Benavidez, okay? Do I think he's, you know, I don't think he's as great as you guys do, to be honest with you. I think he's good. I think he's very good. I give him his credit. I really want to see him fight a light heavyweight. And again, I want to address this too because I'm not trying. There was one guy in my comment section who said, "Oh, you just want to see Benavidez lose." And it's like, no, I don't. It's not that deep. Like, it's not that deep that I want to see Benavidez lose. The reality is, Benavidez is what? He's a big ass kid fighting at 68. He should be fighting a light heavyweight or cruiserweight. He's huge for the weight class. Now, to be fair, for the most part, you know, he hasn't been unprofessional recently. But he's been professional enough to make the weight enough time. He can still make the weight. So if he can make the weight, God bless him. He's a 68-pounder. But for me personally, I want to see him fight at 175 because I feel like he's a very talented fighter. And I just want to see how he would fight against guys that are closer to his size that punch as hard as he do. That's not me wanting to get beat. That's me wanting to see him challenge himself more. That's actually me giving him credit. I'm actually giving him credit in a sense because it's like I'm saying, you're so good at 168. I feel like you've proven enough at 168 that you've graduated. So I want to see you at light heavyweight. It's not I want to see him get beat. So calm down. As far as Canelo, because someone called me a big Canelo hater. Yeah, why not? Why not? No amount of me explaining anything to you is going to change that. So why not? I'm a Canelo hater. But nonetheless, yeah, Munguia versus Ryder is a good fight. I like that fight a lot. Ryder won't get a decision, but it's a chance for Munguia to show his growth in the sport. And look, the ball's in his court. He stops John Ryder, he's gonna have a more than legitimate claim to getting a Canelo Alvarez fight. You know, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's not much more I can say than that. We know Canelo's MO. We know how he operates. You know. Some of you guys too, right? I want to address this too. The same guy who said that I'm protecting Canelo and I'm like the boxing writers and stuff like that, because I forgot his name. The reality is, I don't know no boxing YouTube channel that ever pressed Canelo in real life about fighting Demetrius Andrade. I don't know very many boxing reporters that ever asked Jose Benavidez Sr. about fighting Artur Beterbiev and really like be on him about fighting Artur Beterbiev. So I'm not like them. So come on, man, that's not fair. It's not fair. But nonetheless, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Canelo Alvarez, people like the boxing fans and the boxing media, like the establishment media, they created, like, for Canelo picking and choosing and doing whatever he wants. You guys created that. I didn't create that. You guys create that by constantly kissing his ass and telling him, you know, he's the best Mexican fighter ever and that his, you know, all that stuff. You guys did that. I didn't do that. So when I sit here and say I'm not like bothered about him fighting Benavidez, it's because I'd rather see Benavidez fight other people. And I feel like, you know what, Canelo Alvarez, if he doesn't fight Benavidez, to me that's not a deal breaker. Like he is what he is. Like, he fought Floyd Mayweather, he fought Golovkin, he fought Bivol. I mean, what the hell? I mean, him fighting Benavidez to me is not going to really add or take away much from his legacy in my eyes, because I remember a time, I'm old enough and my memory is long enough to remember a time where people thought Canelo wasn't going to fight Golovkin. And yeah, he was a bit of a diva. I remember he tried to threaten to not fight Golovkin as a negotiation tactic. He said, oh, fight me at 155. He created his own catchphrase, 155, Canelo weight. You know, there were some diva things he pulled, but nonetheless, he still fought him twice. Okay, he fought Floyd Mayweather when he really didn't have to. He was 23 at the time. A lot of people say he was young, right? But he had like 40 fights. He was kind of like Munguia in a sense back then. Had a lot of fights for a young age. And he fought Dimitri Bivol, one of the best boxers in the sport. So my thing is, like, okay, I get everybody wants to see Benavidez, but let's not be irrational. And it's funny that I'm saying this, right? Because I'm not even a big Canelo fan. You guys know I'm the guy who had this channel named Canelo Exposed by Bivol and made a bunch of t-shirts on my Teespring about it. And y'all can still go buy the Canelo Exposed by Bivol t-shirts. I ain't taking them down. They're like $25, $30. Go buy one. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not a big Canelo fan, and for the boxing fans, I hope you guys get the Benavidez fight, because that's the fight the public wants. But I'm not bothered about it. Like, I'm not for or against Benavidez or Canelo. It is what it is. So we'll see what happens with the Munguia-John Ryder fight. It'll be a good test for Munguia. It'll be a chance for John Ryder to continue to enhance his reputation in the sport as one of boxing's true warriors. And it should be a really good way to kick off 2024. I'm looking very forward to a beautiful 2024. But Yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? I'll ask you this one question and I'll sign off. If Jaime Munguia does what no man's ever done at 168 and stops John Ryder, should he get a Canelo Alvarez fight in Cinco de Mayo, or is it Benavidez over everybody? Are you just so hell bent on seeing Canelo versus Benavidez? Voice your opinions down below. I'll definitely be reading the comments. And again, I'll say this again. I'm not bothered about Canelo fighting Benavidez. I don't hate Benavidez. I don't hate Canelo. I don't hate none of these fighters, all right? Do I dislike some of them in their ways? Yeah. Canelo Alvarez, I think, is a bit overrated by the boxing public. But at the same time, it's like he's fought Floyd Mayweather. He's fought Golovkin twice. He's, especially those Golovkin fights. Him not fighting Benavidez, will it be a stain on his legacy? Yeah. But I look at that kind of like, in my eyes, I look at that as kind of like Sugar Ray Leonard not fighting, and these other guys not fighting Aaron Pryor. Sugar Ray Leonard is still a great fighter. People still love him. He's still revered. But I don't hear nobody saying, oh, yeah, he didn't fight Aaron Pryor, so he's not that great. It takes away from his legacy. No, he still fought Hagler. He still fought Hearns. He still fought, all these great fighters. So just what it is. But Munguia, Ryder, January, I think 27th is the date. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.